little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip, and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything?
What it do? What it do? We can do anything as long as we keep them gatekeepers out the way, baby. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Live and Direct with T and Rod. I'm gonna go ahead and bring my cell phone up in this thing without messing up that. I finally got my song to play, man. I got rid of the good goobly whoops. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Point Blank Experience. Welcome to TNT Connect, Event Yours, and wherever else we're broadcasting. Hold up, man. I got to set my security system over here, man. I got to close my blind. Oh, I'm opening the security system. Anyway, man, we're going to be talking about gatekeeping. Hoping y'all having a great day. And see, we got 9 real homies, and I ain't going to waste no time. This ain't the Rod Show, man. This is the Rod and T, or the T and Rod Live and Direct. We got DT Cruz in the house. What is going on, Tanya? What's going on?
What's up, Rod? How's it going? How's it going?
Man, I'm just living life, just happy to be here. And man, it's been a rough, let me rephrase. It hasn't been a rough day. It's been a long day. And I didn't really even leave the house, man. Just a lot of stuff I've been procrastinating and putting off. I finally did today, a couple business calls I needed to make. So just excited to be here, man. I did a promo today, just excited to be back with the crew, whether they're tuning in on PBE, the Points Blank Experience, or TNT Connect, or Event Yours, man. I'm just happy to be here with everybody because it's nothing like fellowship, man. It's nothing like fellowship. So just glad to be here.
All right. Well, today was a quick day for me today. Like, you ever have the day go by so fast? I was like, oh my Lord.
Yeah.
I got stuff to do and the day is gone.
It happens to me every day. I had some stuff and that's what happened today. At one point it was 10 this morning. Next thing I know, it was like 11:45. Then it seemed like it turned 2. And then it was 3:20. And I'm like, man, where is this day going? And I needed to call the VA. And I got ready to call the VA, and it was 3:57. And I thought they closed at 4, but it was 4:30. So I got kind of lucky. But then I was on the phone another hour. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's always something that's going on where we think we have a whole day, and before we know it, the day get away from it. But I noticed one thing, though. You was at work and the day got away from you?
Yes. Like at one moment it was 10:30, and the next minute it was 5:02.
See, they usually don't happen at work, and that's what I've been saying. Is this happening to me because I'm not working?
If you working, it happened.
Yeah, if you really working, you're right. If you got one of them jobs where you ain't really doing much, like I had jobs. I've always felt like I had jobs that had a lot of stagnant or idle time. So it did seem like at times I was watching paint dry, but it was also times where I felt like I was busy, and then I looked down and it's still 10:30 in the morning. Like I've been at 17. I'm like, man, what's going on? And speaking of which, man, speaking of that, man, before I even get into this topic, I got to make a public service announcement to all my friends, followers, homies, homegirls, everybody out there. Let me just be the first one to say, contrary to belief, YouTube is a job.
Yes,
I'm noticing that people call me and they don't directly say it, but I can hear it in their spirit. And I ain't trying to rhyme. I can hear it in their spirit. What's happening is people calling me and they be like, hey, what you doing, dog? And then their spirit be saying, I know he ain't doing nothing. I can't wait to hear this response. And then no matter what I say, they skip right past. Hey man, I'm actually over here I didn't like this apartment, so I'm rebuilding my apartment. I think I'm gonna make this a 2-bedroom. Oh, I hear you, dog. Well, let me tell you what happened. I'm like, didn't you hear what I just said?
No, they wasn't expecting you to say nothing because they call already ready with what they wanted to tell you.
Or worse than that, I say, hey, I'm about to shoot a video. Oh man, every time I turn around, you on YouTube. I say, every time I turn around, I get a bill in the mail. How you think I'm paying them? They ain't paying themselves. This is how I pay my bill. Oh yeah, that's right, huh, dog? I'm like, yeah, man. Every time I turn around, you're on too. So to all the people in the back, in the front, and from side to side, YouTube is a job, at least for Rod. When I say I'm going to do something on YouTube, even when I'm watching another live, I'm working because I'm typing comments or I'm looking at something I may like and may want to incorporate. So I'm always working, man. I work up until I get in the bed and get my kid. I shouldn't even say that. Pause. Candy bar until I get the candy bar because I'm in the bed by myself. And then I go to sleep. So I'm always working. Anyway, y'all. Hey man, I'm gonna speak to some of these people. So tell you, do you ever get that? Do people when they hear you say, because people used to say I was the hardest working man on YouTube, but you are organized and you put out a lot of content. Do people ever treat it like you ain't doing nothing? Like your family and friends?
No, I don't think that they understand how much work it takes. That's pretty much it. I think they just don't understand how much work it takes. But what I do is, and I guess it's because most of the time I may be available. So they may be like, okay, so when is she recording? But what I do is, unless it's an actual live, like I'm physically here, most of my stuff is pre-recorded, and I'm usually doing bulk recordings, meaning I'm doing 4, 5, 6 at a time. So it's not taking a lot of time out of like my work day, or if I have things to do. Now there may be a couple of Saturdays where if I'm conducting interviews or I'm doing certain recordings with somebody else, then of course I have to do things in their time frame. So that may, impact something else that I could be doing. But no, they don't act like it's nothing. I just think some of them may not understand how much work it takes to do it.
Exactly.
That's the part.
And it ain't even the amount of work. It's just when they call and when I tell them what I'm doing, like I don't call nobody and they say, hey, I'm over here about to deliver a baby. Oh, I hear you, man. Well, tell the baby to hold on. I got to tell you the story real quick. I don't do nobody.
Right.
They at work. They can tell me, man, I'm over here counting pennies, even though they're in circulation. I'll be like, all right, hey, call me when you finish. You sound busy. Not me. I tell them I'm over here with New Edition, about to see if I can be the 6th or 7th member. And they'll be like, for real? And then they still talk about nothing. But anyway, y'all, we're going to get into this gatekeeping, man. I'm sorry, man. A whole lot be happening from Monday to Monday in my world, boy. A whole lot. I can have one topic and come on here with 15 other topics. But so we're going to go ahead and talk about this gatekeeping. And I'm going to let Tanya start it off. I am going to go ahead and pull up something. So in case is anybody out there, because I actually, every time I go live, or a lot of time when I attend the live, I always learn something. Once again, it never failed. I learned something here. So let me go ahead and share the screen. What is a true meaning of gatekeeping? And there it is right there. That is and I'm gonna let Tanya, I should have let her did it, and she's gonna tell me because now I'm looking, I don't even know where it went on my screen. It's somewhere.
It's still up. It's still up there.
But I can't make it move. What you see up there is all this.
You just have to click it again, it'll disappear, but we don't want it to disappear right now.
All right, so. Well, hopefully you got it so y'all can see that there. So the true meaning of gatekeeping. Talk to us, Miss T. Talk to us.
So the subject of gatekeeping, what prompted this was, in life, in all aspects of life, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, amongst your family, friends, other associates within your network, gatekeeping has always had a negative, tone to it. People say, gatekeeping are just, people that don't want you to know information, they're withholding it and so forth. But before we get into the negatives of gatekeeping, the positives of gatekeeping, the benefits of gatekeeping, and what are some of the things that some of the reasons why people would gatekeep. And then we're also going to ask some of you in the chat, some questions in reference to gatekeeping to get your thoughts on it and our thoughts. But in terms of the true meaning of gatekeeping, the true meaning of gatekeeping and what it was intended for is basically a process of controlling access to information, resources, or opportunities. Basically, somebody, you ask a question or they don't want to share. They don't want to provide you the plug. They don't want to connect you with somebody who can, provide you opportunities. But it basically involves deciding what content, voices, or perspectives are allowed to be shared or excluded. And the concept actually originated from the communication theory and media studies. So this was really in alignment with the media, whether it's TV, radio, big mass productions that are providing information. Okay. And gatekeepers can be actual individuals or organizations or companies. So you could take that down, Rod. So when we think about gatekeeping, most people have a negative connotation about it. And most people don't realize that there's also benefits to gatekeeping. So the original purpose of the gatekeeping, as you saw, that was the true meaning of it. And that's where it originated from. But basically, gatekeeping is supposed to, the benefits of it. And I'm just going to read what the benefits of gatekeeping is. It ensures quality and accuracy by filtering out unreliable or irrelevant information, which basically means you only, because you may get information, but if there's some extra information that you really don't need, or if it's going to create some sort of issue in the world, then the media may not share that information with you, right? If it's a person, that person may feel like they may be selective of whether they share certain information with you, because they may feel like you're not ready for this information, just like on what's that movie with Tom Cruise and what's his name? What's the man name from The Shining? Rod.
I don't know. I
forgot his name.
I know the show The
Jack
Shining. I don't be knowing their names.
He said, "You can't handle the truth." So basically,
you talk about now,
is it A Few Good Men?
Hackman? It's A Few Good Men.
Few Good Men. Okay. So I knew it was a military movie, but I just couldn't get it. But basically, when you have information and you feel like the information that you have is really meant for someone who can really do something with it, meaning they are strong enough, they're intelligent enough, or they're going to take the information and actually make it even greater, then people will share. But then some people may feel like, I'm not just going to give anybody this information, because someone can take that information and make it worse, make it bad, a bad thing. And so that is one, benefit of gatekeeping, basically being selective of who you share information with and why, right? It also helps to maintain professional and ethical standards within industries and communities. So again, going back to who I share this information with, is because I'm going to share it with someone that's going to make it even better, or take it and continue to keep it good, versus taking it and using it for evil. Okay. Which we'll get into that in a minute. It protects audiences from misinformation and harmful content or unverified claims. So basically, it goes back to that last bullet about who you share it with. You need to make sure that that individual is going to pass the message on correctly. They're not going to take what you say and it end up like the telephone game where you got like a whole row of like 50 people and you say one thing and by the time you get to the end, it's something else. Well, sometimes people don't want that to happen. So they are very selective about who they give that information and when they give it. Mm-hmm. And then it organizes and prioritizes information to make it more accessible and meaningful. Meaning, if I'm sharing this with everybody, everybody may have a different way of putting it out there, but it may not be organized in a way for people to understand it, for people to interpret it appropriately, and then other people will listen to it and then not interpret it well and take it and then do the same thing that last bullet said and spread it incorrectly out to everyone else. So with that, there's bad reasons that people gatekeep too. Okay. Some people do it to exclude others and create a sense of elitism, okay, or superiority, to maintain control and power by limiting who has access to knowledge or opportunities, to discourage new voices, perspectives, or innovation that might challenge the status quo, and to uphold biases, stereotypes, or discrimination within a group or community. So, with all that said, you can take gatekeeping for a good thing, just like in the world, there are good reasons why people do things and there's bad reasons why people do things. When it comes to gatekeeping, what side are you on? Okay. Are you for gatekeeping, meaning, hey, I'm holding it because I just want to make sure the information's right? Or I'm holding it because I'm afraid somebody else going to do better than me. I'm afraid somebody else going to take that information and blow it up into something else that, I don't really want them to be my next competition. I'm not going to tell them because I don't really want them in this in crowd, because if they know it, then my in crowd won't be exclusive. How do you feel about gatekeeping, and what are your thoughts on gatekeeping? So Rod, I'm going to go with you first.
All right, and I'm gonna pull that comment. I'm gonna start, and then I'll pull that back up, Juan.
Okay. All right, hey, Juan, how you doing? And everybody in the chat. Just want to let you know, because Rob be flying through these comments. I just hey everybody.
I see y'all. Hey, for everybody that was here last week, I go too slow. So your boy went to comment workouts. I went to the comment gym this week. Got quicker. Now she said I'm going too fast. So y'all, I don't know which one to do, y'all. Last week she's like, y'all, I ain't controlling the comment. Y'all know Rod's slow. We'll be on the next episode, but now I'm fast. Y'all know I'm ready to act a fool, man. I don't care. We can come here and talk about the most serious topic. And I made a vow to myself on YouTube when I first started. Today I can't do a whole lot of teaching, provide a whole lot of learning, and have a whole lot of fun. That'll be the day I quit. I got to do them all. So we're going to learn gatekeeping and all that. But we're going to have fun. And I'm going to go ahead and pull this down. So I said earlier that I learned something every live. And I'm going to go ahead and put a serious yet comical twist on what my idea of gatekeeping was. I wasn't thinking about media. And then once Tanya told me the topic and I started researching, so I didn't come up here and sound like a bigger fool than I'm already going to sound like just being Rod, I realized that's when I learned about this media. And I'm thinking gatekeeping was like the best gatekeeping I could think about is my girlfriend mama was the gatekeeper. She didn't want me to see her daughter. And it's true. And I know y'all back in the back said, well, what in the world? Rod talking about the baby mama and girlfriends and mamas and Tanya talking about so intellectually in media and all this. Well, let me tell you, my first experience with gatekeeping was in a formal course in sales.
Okay.
And I want y'all to follow along with me. And then it took me back to 1986, 7, whatever year it was. But this course I was in 2010 when I actually 2007, right before I retired from the Navy, I went to this Navy course that taught you sales. And the main thing they said, your first order of business when you're selling is you have to find out who the gatekeeper is. I'm like, the hell they talking about? I'm going to somebody's crib that got a gate. And
the person that's making the decision.
The person that's making the decisions is the gatekeeper. So, yes, we're going to get into the digital era. We're going to get into the media and all that. But my first introduction to gatekeeping. So I said, man, I never thought of that. So I never forget. I got out the Navy and I went to this job and I was selling I was selling them little machines that you zip your credit card through. That lasted one day. I quit after one day. It was too much work, too much walking, it was too much everything. But I went to this cleaners and I spent this whole half an hour talking to this guy for him to say, you need to talk to my dad. He's the one that owns the place and he's at the other cleaners. I said, well, where the hell is the other cleaners? He told me. Y'all was 5 minutes away. Your boy jumped into my Avalon. And if you know anything about an Avalon, it's not a Porsche. I jumped in my Avalon and hightailed it 5 minutes away. When I got there, hey, man, I'm looking for, we're going to say Bobby. His name wasn't Bobby. Oh, Bobby just went to the other cleaners. I'm like, man, you got to be kidding me. So I turn around and go back to the other cleaners to find out Bobby ain't none of the cleaners. I said, you know what? Hey, man, what time Bobby come here? What time is he going to be here? I ain't talking about between here. And he told me I came back. But how much time would I have saved had I known who the gatekeeper was?
Right.
How cool how many times would I took a slice of sweet potato pie over to the mom's house of the daughter I'm trying to date if I knew what the gatekeeper was?
Right.
I mean, our common sense told me it was the mama, she made the decision, but I didn't think about getting to the gatekeeper.
Right.
I'm trying to get to the prize, but you can't get to the prize till you get past the obstacle.
Exactly.
So my thing with gatekeeping is I think it's very positive, but I'm gonna twist this around real quick. We're gonna get deep into this, not deep for no 10 hours. But gatekeeping, when it does come to media, and I'm gonna put something on y'all mind. People talk about YouTube, for example. And I'm gonna tell you something I think I'm experiencing right now. We're gonna go ahead and shine some light. I'm like Future. I'm looking for it. I got a flashlight in the daytime and I'm looking for it. I'm about to find it too. But I want y'all to listen to what I'm saying. YouTube will gatekeep who they want. And what Tanya was saying, who they want to promote, whose video they want to push out, whose video they want to impressions is what they call it. But what about the people that gatekeep because they hating on you because they think you're good and they secretly want to be you or want to be like you, but YouTube is pushing your stuff out, but behind the curtains, they telling all the homies in the homegirl, hey, don't watch Rod, because he got a little song on Instagram said, we on fire. Don't watch Rod, because he making jokes at another one. Don't watch Rod, because he got 6 YouTube channels. Don't watch Rod, because he got 4 YouTube awards. I'm going to tell y'all, you better go and call one of these foreign countries with the biggest army out there, because you can't gatekeep me. That's why I got hashtag. I should have put stop trying to gatekeep me on it. Because I'm telling you, man, that's one of my songs that I pump up and I ain't listened to it today is by Drake. Non-stop. This a roll it, baby. I don't stop. Matter of fact, go back and look at my Instagram. You want to see something that's going to blow your mind? I did a whole post and put 79% new followers, 21% current followers. What is that telling you?
Yeah.
I ain't worried about the people gatekeeping. Guess what I did? I went to a new gate because I'm like that dude that was at the church. I'm trying to find who in the hell left the gate open. Right here, I'm dropping the mic. That's how I feel about it, Tanya.
Who left the gate open?
Who in the hell left the gate open? And that was a preacher that said that. So you can gatekeep Rod, but you're really spinning your wheel, wasting your time because I'm going to get mine. I'm just going to go to a different gate. Same thing. I talk about credit card. People spend 2 years trying to get a credit limit increase. You know what I do? I spend 2 minutes, go apply for another card, get a whole nother credit card and a whole nother credit limit. Stab, baby, smarter than the average bear. I digress. Tell you, I don't even know what that means, but they said when they usually finish talking that they hyped up. So I digress. I got to tell you about the show.
That's fine. But I mean, that is a form of gatekeeping, basically meaning someone really, but it's the same, it's just a different way of going about it. So, okay, at the end of the day, it's a matter of withholding information. The reason you withhold it makes it good or bad. So just gatekeeping is gatekeeping. Withholding information. And it's not really withholding, it's just a matter of not including specific information. And to me, I think that there are benefits to, like, there's a time to gatekeep and there's a time when not to, for me anyway. I feel that gatekeeping is correct depending on the type of information that you're gatekeeping. Okay. If you're gatekeeping information because you know that this information is important and how it is shared is important, then you need to be selective over who you're sharing it with so they don't taint the message, right? You want to maintain the quality of the information. For instance, there are times when you know how people say, hey, I got the hookup, but then they can't tell you the source, and that's fine. You don't really, that to me is a time when I feel that gatekeeping is necessary. Okay. Gatekeeping is necessary, and I'm taking it outside of the professional world. We're going to talk about real world here. Okay. Because I already talked about the true meaning, the professional information about what it is, where it originated, what it was used for. Okay, we don't care about the media no more. We're going to talk about real life people and how they do things. Let's talk about it. I was looking at clips, and always clips are like, nobody wants to share where they got that jacket from. Nobody wants to share where they got their hair done. Nobody wants to share how to do this. Nobody wants to share, hey, this is the person you need to talk to in order to get what it is that you want. And a lot of times, I think that depending on what it is, it's a matter of, is that information going to not make what is special anymore, right? So I think that there's one part where people don't think that some things are special anymore. So for instance, if someone gives me a hookup with something, I'm not telling you how much I paid for it. I will introduce you to the person so you can get the service, and whatever they choose, whether they choose to give you the hookup or not, is up to them. But it's not for me to share what I paid, because if I tell you how much I paid, now you gonna go to that person and be like, well, why you charging me this much? Because you only charge so-and-so this much, because there are people who will do that. You charge so-and-so this much, and I don't understand why I can't get the same rate. Now, guess what's going to happen? Now, I can't go get that rate no more, because everybody is asking for that same rate. You see what I'm saying? So that to me is a valid reason to gatekeep. If someone is doing you because of who you are a favor, that does not mean you need to go and get the blabbing it to everybody else about what they did for you, which is the reason why you can't go blabbing about what somebody did for you, because that's what they did for you. That's not for everybody, especially if it's their business, especially if it's a business. Now you dipping into their coins. You dipping into their coins, you dipping into their connections, you dipping into all of that, because they don't want that stuff saturated, because it ain't going to make no money. Right? So when it comes to that, I can understand gatekeeping. What I don't agree with gatekeeping is gatekeeping information that you know for a fact is holding someone back, where you know that it can help them, because you too worried about, you too insecure. I'll put it that way, because you're too insecure. Either you don't want anybody to either surpass you, You don't want anybody to take whatever you say or whatever information and blow it up to a whole nother level. You don't want to share because you're worried that it's going to get flipped around and whatever you're doing or whatever you think about is not important anymore because they don't open the eyes to everybody about a different way of doing things. So because of that, I don't agree with that, because one, there's too many people in this world who have not had the opportunity to have opportunities, who did not have opportunities to have access to resources, who did not have opportunities or the money to be able to, or the connections to be able to understand and get that information the traditional way. And so that doesn't mean, okay, well, I had to learn the hard way, so I'm going to withhold it from you because I had to fight tooth and nail to get my information. So I'm not going to share with you and make it easy. Now, I understand that still go back to the positive reason for gatekeeping. If you know the person who's asking you is lazy and all they want is the answer and don't want to put the work in, then you gatekeep that information. Right. But if you know that person is a hard worker, they believe in what it is that they're asking you for, you know they're going to do what works with it, why not share it? Why not share the information? What do you have to lose by doing that, right? And I get it from a spiritual sense. Everybody's not meant to hear your dream and hear your vision and hear what the Lord tells you. I got that. Okay? Totally get it. But that isn't to keep other people from knowing. That's to keep other people from trying to taint your thinking about what you're doing, and then you don't do it because somebody else now done talked you out of it. Somebody else done pooped on your dream and your vision that was shown to you, and now making it to where it got you thinking, oh, well, maybe I can't do this. Maybe I can't. This isn't a good thing to do. That is the reason for not always sharing your vision that the Lord gives you to others. So that is a reason to gatekeep, but you have to have a discerning spirit in order to do that, because sometimes you withhold information from people who can also help you.
If I can piggyback on what you're saying right now, Tanya, before I forget, y'all, exactly what Tanya just said in gatekeeping. Sometimes we'll keep information from the person that we used to know. And what I mean when I say that, or we'll give information to the person we used to know. If you are, or you do have some pertinent or some valuable information, just because Rod knew Johnny from high school and it's now 20, 30, 40 years later, I don't just need to jump out and tell Johnny everything I know about everything in the world. I need to sit back, talk to Johnny. I don't need to judge him. I don't need to try to figure out his life. I just need to know with what I'm about to tell him. Number one, I can trust him because it could be something I don't even supposed to be telling him. You know, you never know. So please keep that in mind. One of the things I also want to talk about with gatekeeping while it's fresh on my mind, a lot of times, and I got some notes here that I took in my phone, but with gatekeeping outside of social media, outside of media, one of the examples that I came across was managers in stores. Let's take a grocery store, for example. The manager at a grocery store will pick and choose what they want to put out to the general public because it may be some stuff that's about to expire, and they'll keep the newer stuff and not put it out because we need to get rid of this. I'm going to put that in a retrospect of the car business. I worked in the car business. Their cars pricing, you could have two of the same vehicles, new, brand, it ain't gonna be used, brand new, used, obviously. And you'll wonder why this one and this one are the same vehicle, same equipment, but one same year model, but one's a little bit cheaper than the other because one's older than the other. Even though they're both 2025s, one may have been produced in January, one may have been produced in May. These dealerships are paying taxes to keep these cars on the lot. So what do they do to the newer cars? They may park it in the back of the dealership and put the older cars up front and tell you this is all we got. Really? All right.
You're right.
Check
You're
it out.
right. You're right.
You go on over there. I'm just gonna mosey around. And guess what I'm doing? I'm gonna walk. I worked at a big dealership. We sold 800 cars per month. I walked about a quarter, half mile to the back. And then here it is, man. I thought I was a leprechaun. I had fell in the end of the rainbow, baby. I was in the every color, every car I thought I was looking for was out there. But they got two up in the front because they've been there, and don't let them be over 365 days. Oh, Lord have mercy, they buddy getting. So we may think we're being hooked up, or it's and that's why I had somebody's thing up here, or it's a positive gatekeeping, but it may not be as positive as it seems. I always say peel the onion back, man. I'm telling you, go and peel the onion. I'm gonna say like we said Arkansas, but I'm gonna say the city way. I'm gonna say the country way. Go and peel the onion. In the city, people gonna say we're gonna start crying. In the country, the more you peel the onion, the funkier it get.
That's right. That's right.
Peel the onion back. Go to the back of the dealership, see how many cars they told you there's more than the two that's up front.
Well, I can tell you, give you two other examples. Same thing as when we're gonna use the supermarket. How many of y'all, when y'all go get some milk, do y'all take what's at the front?
Hell no.
Reach all the way in the back. And then I'd be like, oh, they got one that expired later up here. I'm grabbing that one that expired on the 10th, but the one in the front expired on the 3rd. So I'm gonna reach all the way back and grab that because first in, first out. That's a supply chain thing. First in, first out. But I'm going to the back. I'm going to the back to get the other milk. And when I go to the liquor store and I'm buying liquors or whatever, it's just like allocated. Not all liquor stores will put all their allocated stuff out. Like you said, they'll have some out behind the cabinet or in a locked cabinet or behind the cash register, or you need to get behind, you have to ask the owner, hey, do you have this? And sometimes they'll have it in the back, and sometimes they'll look at you, and depending on who you are, they'll tell you no, but somebody else can come right on in and ask for the same thing, and they go back and get it from them. So it's still being selective. Like, you can't just walk in there and say, hey, I want one of what kind of new releases do you have that is hard to get? Do you have any allocated bottles in the back that's not out here? Depending on how you present yourself and whether they feel that it's going to be worth giving it to you, you might not get it. You won't get it. So that's a whole thing there. But Rod, I know you had some comments in there and some start ones. Did you want to go through some of those?
Yeah.
Before we get to some of the questions for the chat.
I've started a movement in Texas, and people finally starting to listen to me. And people used to say, Rod, you be tripping. I was like, all right, man. But I'm telling you, man, you gotta, like Tanya just said, even when I bought a vacuum that I still ain't put together. Y'all, I got down, I was in Walmart. I got on the ground because the one I wanted was at the bottom, obviously. Go figure. So I got out there because I didn't want the one in the front. It was three of them. I didn't want the one in the front and one in the back. I had to get on the floor to get it. And then I started looking at the tape to see which one was wrinkled up. That's probably why I ain't put it together. I'm scared the one I got ain't gonna work. Then I bought a TV, and the little dude, I told him, I said, man, slide and slide. He said, nah, I got it, and it dropped. I said, man, you about to be mad because you gotta go get another TV, dog. He said, man, all this styrofoam. I said, I don't care if it's a whole person up in there holding the TV. And I'm paranoid like that. But first in, first out, all that dates in the front. Mm-hmm. These people ain't stupid. I mean, they got people that train people on that. And let me go to these star comments real quick. So if hopefully Juan's still in here, Juan said gates are healthiest when they're transparent, proportionate, and paired with, this is key right here. And that's what Tony been saying the whole time, with coaching. When they're opaque, shifting, or status protective, they're usually doing harm. But really, if you think about it, that's what the gatekeeping be. That second part.
Right. Exactly. Or they tell you just enough, but not really enough for you to, and no one's saying you're supposed to just be going out there and sharing stuff, because most people go, hey, well, this is my business, right? This is my business. And if I share this information with you, then it's like I'm giving the information for free. Well, you just have to be selective. If you know it's a student that's growing and they're a good student, why not share that information with that student? I'm just saying, we're not just sharing it with just anybody, right? You share the information, but that doesn't mean you need to go step by step by step by step. Because let me tell you, there's enough out here for everybody. I don't care what it is. There's enough out here for everybody. And let me tell you something, a little competition don't hurt because it keep you growing. It does it. Like, some people want to get to a point where they're comfortable. It's like, yeah, don't nobody know this. Only I know this, and they don't know what I know. Okay, well, you're gonna lose because you're withholding information. No one's gonna give you any information. So if everyone else is practicing what you're practicing, then no one else is gonna share information with you. And guess what's gonna happen? It'll just take you longer to figure stuff out. Or you can get with someone who's going to help mentor you and share that information with you and help you know how to apply it. So then you don't taint it while it's going out there, that it keeps it of good quality, so just saying.
And see what C said, yeah, you got to be selective with who you share information with. And sometimes, man, when it comes to gatekeeping information, you could tell the most trustworthy, your best friend. But you might have some information so good and juicy, they just got to tell somebody. It's just too good to keep to yourself. I mean, I could think of a couple of things people have told me, but luckily I had a security clearance where I was trained not to tell stuff. And so I got past that wanting to tell stuff because there's a whole lot of stuff I couldn't say in my career. But boy, ain't nothing something like some of that good old neck bone gossip, man. You be at the Sunday dinner, boy, you get all the good gossip, man. You just sit over there and act like you eat. Don't say nothing. Just act like you eat. You'll be eating for real. Yeah, you hear all the, but that's why I'm learning a lot, because I never thought of me not telling people certain things. I never thought of that as gatekeeping, but that's exactly what it is. I never thought of it. And Tanya, I mean, like, I've learned a lot with this topic. It's just, so Tanya said at the beginning, what have y'all ever experienced in the gatekeeping? I mean, it may be something that you didn't know was gatekeeping. We don't know what's gatekeeping. Then when we think about it, so yeah, that is kind of a form of that or something. So has anybody experienced that that's in the chat, or
does anybody in the chat gatekeep? And if you do, what is it that you gatekeep? And do you use gatekeeping from a positive perspective, or do you use it as negative? Some tell me that if people use it for negative, they ain't gonna say it, at least not in the chat anyway. But in addition to that, everyone, does gatekeeping protect society from harm, or do you think it just silences the important voices? Because to me, that's the same thing. Is you're not sharing, like you're sharing it, but you're selective because you want the person to give the information correctly, which means you don't want the information to harm anybody, misinterpret information, defecate on someone's name. But at the same time, for those who are doing it for bad, it's really to silence other people. It's really, I don't want you to know this because I don't want you to do it. I don't really want you to take this and run with it. You know what I mean? So, and there's nothing wrong with competition or healthy. And a lot of times, usually when people are using it for bad, that's usually the reason they're insecure or afraid of competition. We're not talking about those who are doing it for good reasons. We're talking about those who are doing it strictly because I don't want you to know, because I don't want you to do it first. And let me tell you something. There is nothing, I don't care what anyone says, there is a 1 in a billion chance that someone is thinking of something that no one else has either done or thought about already. You just haven't seen it within your realm of whoever you're looking at or whoever's in your life, or whoever you're looking at on TV, listening on the radio, looking at on the computer screen or on your phone. There is nothing that anyone can do today that has not already been done at all. All it is people just put different spins on it. That's it.
Big facts.
That's the only difference. Okay, unless you're inventing something that, and I guarantee you, even those that have a patent for it, trust me, someone else thought about it. It's just that they didn't have the money to patent it, so someone else patented it first. So then they're the ones that get the recognition throughout history to say that they're the ones who invented the light bulb. I'm just going to use that as an example.
And you brought up another good point, Tanya, about that made me think when you ask, are any of us gatekeeping? I'm actually gatekeeping right now, and I never thought about it till now. But if you really, most of the things I do is methodical. I mean, and I've thought about it. I've thought about it very hard. From it's something as small as a TikTok song that goes with a video, a promo, up to something huge. But I'm gatekeeping the information I'm going to drop on my videos. What is that?
I was just showing everybody what it was.
Yeah, let me make you big, y'all.
That's just Riesling, Sun Garden Riesling. That's all.
Is it good, Tony?
Yeah, it's good.
It just looked like, I know you ain't drinking them bad, but that label, man, or that label. So, man, see, Tanya did it, and I forgot what was I saying, Tanya? When you do that, you got to help me remember. I tell you,
ain't nobody tell you to stop.
I'm gonna have to start writing. I'm gonna type in the comment. Will y'all see a comment from me down there?
But I ain't asked you to do all of that.
It's gonna be a senior moment.
Seeing my little square with the little bottle in there.
Well, hopefully it come back. But
you said that you're gatekeeping stuff now.
Oh yeah. I won't drop. I used to promote or drop. Like I know what video I'm gonna drop. I already got the video, the thumbnail, everything ready for the video I just recorded today. I just have to edit it. I can go ahead and drop it because I'm not going to put a link with it, but I'm so observant. I won't even drop what I'm getting ready to drop until I'm ready to drop it. I won't put it out there ahead of time.
Right.
I'm gatekeeping information because I don't want nobody else to go out there and put out the same thing, and it'll defeat the purpose. So I'm gatekeeping when I want to put my information out there. It seems or sounds maybe tedious, but at the end of the day, I'm gatekeeping. Okay. Why not go ahead and put it out there now so Johnny and Mary can say, well, hey, maybe I was going to go to wherever, Pilates or wherever at 7:30, but Rod going to go live. And now that I know, I'll just do my Pilates at 6 and be at home at 7:30 instead of, oh, man, he just put this out at 6:45 and I'm at Pilates now. So I'm kind of...
Who Pilates? You do Pilates?
I don't do nothing, man. Whatever you call walking to the car, okay. That's what I do.
Stop gatekeeping me. What are you doing? Hashtag stop gatekeeping me.
You just not noticing that? That's what I said.
I was looking like, what the heck?
That's why I said I should have put hashtag you can't gatekeep me on there. But
that's not gatekeeping because you're still putting out the information. You're just strategic in when you do.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the message can be received. Because let me explain to you how that works. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about YouTube, right? Because you brought up videos.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to be selective about when you put out your content.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't do inaugurals for a couple of reasons. I don't do inaugural. Don't worry, DT Cruz. I got you. In YouTube, let's say, you got those inaugural sailings. Everybody and their mama going. And chances are, everybody who is anybody in YouTube knows somebody else who is also going. And everybody going to have their cameras out. Everybody going to have their microphones on. Everybody going to be showing the cabin. Everybody going to show getting on the ship. Everybody going to show embarkation day. Everybody going to show the sail away with the same old playlist. Everybody gonna show the shows. Everybody's gonna show everything. So if it's saturated, why not be strategic about when you put it out? Why put it out when everybody else is obviously putting out? So this is how I look at inaugurals and videos and YouTube. Unless you are on that transatlantic where you are the first one on that ship coming from where it was built to where it's going, it don't even make no sense. You getting all the residuals. Because let me tell you something, when Danny and Matt get on that daggone ship coming from when they finish putting the last light bulb up on there, if y'all not on there when it's coming from putting the light bulb on it to bring it over to the United States, you ain't the first ones. So guess what's going to happen? Those individuals who are recording is going to get the most views. Those people who are getting on there after it get here, good luck. You may get a little residual because the people who has the most subscribers, of course, is going to get the most views. So if you are not even near somebody who got 100,000, 500,000, 800,000, 1 million views already, there's not that many people that's watching your channel. So you may not get as many views as somebody else. So you get some of it, but is it really worth it? You paying this money. So unless you're going for free, you paying for it. You going on the ship to say, I want to be the first ones. Then you go on there and then the ship don't work. Some stuff don't work, basically.
Right.
All the shows not showing. All the stuff that anybody else is going to experience in the next month or two, you might not be able to experience because it's not ready yet. You still got staff rehearsing and planning for the first show that may not even happen. They have technical difficulties and all that type of stuff. It's just like being chosen when the new phone come out and you want to be the first one in line with it just to say that you got it. But guess what? You the beta tester. You're going to get all the bugs. You're going to get all the issues that's with it. So you're not even going to get the money that you paid out of it. It ain't even going to be worth it because you're going to spend more time saying, oh, they had to do 8 updates. They had to take my phone back and give me another phone. But then somebody who waited a few months later or a year later, they ain't got nothing wrong with their phone no more. So I look at what you did, Rod, is just like, it's not gatekeeping, it's strategy.
And that brings up Christian's question.
And yeah, I'm answering Kristen. Is strategy the same as gatekeeping? No, it's not. Well,
right here, I got to bring up Juan because this is what Juan says. Strategies
usually shared, or are you referring to?
I don't agree with that.
That's Juan asking Kristen that question. He's asking Kristen that question.
But Juan, I want to chime in on what Juan's saying because let's say a strategy. I could have a non-personal, it's personal, but it's non-personal. I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, as an individual or as a football team, we may have a strategy to win, but we ain't gonna share it with the other team. You know what I mean? We gonna keep it within our team because we tell them the strategy they're gonna win. So I see what Juan is saying, and I'm kind of like Christian. What up, Trap? I'm kind of like Christian though, because this is a good topic because is strategy like without strategy, even though it is personal at the end of the day, what Juan is saying and what the reason I made the decisions I made with strategy, yeah, it's personal because it's my revenue, but I also look at it at a professional level. Let's say, I'm just going to use a name. I ain't going to use a real person. Let's say Jimmy. Jimmy talk about points and miles. Rod talk about points and miles. We had the exact same title. American Express, new welcome offer. Same exact title. Jimmy might not know what the hell. No, Jimmy is an expert. Rod barely know what he's talking about. But they see Rod first, and he barely know what he's talking about. And then Jimmy really know what he's talking about, but they don't even watch Jimmy because they've already watched Rod. They didn't know whether Rod knew what he was talking about or not, but They just knew Rod gave them some information, but he gave them some bad information. And the person with the great information, they didn't even get to them.
Right.
Because they've already think they've heard it. Well, they the same title. They're talking about the same thing. Why am I going to watch this twice? Different perspective.
Right.
So that's not really a gatekeeping, but I don't know. What you think, Tanya? Because
in terms of strategy is how you go about it. So to me, when I think of strategy related to gatekeeping, it takes me back to that bullet point that says when you're selective of who you share the information with, meaning I'm going to share it. It's just timing. There's a time to share it, which is what Juan said, in his first comment. It's all about when you share it. There's a time for everything. And I think C said the same thing. C or Kristen. Somebody said there's a time for everything. It's a matter of when you share it. So strategy is how you go about something, how you approach something. Okay. If I put it this way, if I think husband and wife, I put it that way. If I think that my husband is not going to listen to me right now because of whatever the reason is, and I need to deliver a message to him, and I don't think he's going to receive it right now because maybe his mind is on other things, I'm going to choose not to tell you right now. But I'm going to wait until the time is right where he's going to be receptive of it in order to say something. Now, Kristen did say her question was really what came to mind was sports. Now, do understand, Kristen, that is evidently their competition. So you always want to be up one on your competition. And I get that. But that's what I'm saying. Some people feel that if they share certain information with certain people, it just means that they feel like, you know what, this person might be just as good. I don't want to share this information with them because if they take this information, I know what they're going to do with it. I know what that person going to do with it. And they might blow me out the water. They might win the game. And that is when we're talking about gatekeeping. There's a time for it. When you playing the game and so forth, that's fine. But guess what? They all shake hands and give pats and hit each other booty on the way out the door when they finish. Even the losing team. They may be mad, but they be like, all right, good game, good game. And they keep it moving. Guess what that means? Do better next time. Because all they did was have the same information you had. So if they had the same information you had and they was able to take it to a whole nother level, don't hate the player, hate the game.
And that you and just said.
And my thing is learn from it. So let's talk about sports. Learn from it. You look at the game and go, how did they take our play and make it into that? Learn from it and then apply it.
But see,
then beat the next team.
You just brought up a good point. Hate the game, don't hate the player, because what I'm seeing, like, and again, and this may sound a little personal, but I'm telling the world what I experienced as a content creator, because I'm beyond a YouTuber now. I'm all over the place because I'm taking the time to learn how to be all over the place. But people will take something, and like Tanya said at the beginning, let's get away from the negative. Let's talk about the positive part of gatekeeping. You know, we people will look and say, well, why should I super chat? And I don't care about it. I'm just telling you the stuff that make me laugh. Why should I super chat Rod? Why should I watch Rod? Why should I be part of Rod memberships? Rod already got money. Rod already balling out of control. Rod already just paid a car for cash. But I did a whole series. Not that I'm going to show off and pay a car for cash. I wanted to show the common person that if you start with $25 a payday, these are some of the things you can do that you think you can't do because we ain't never tried to do it.
Right.
My motto on PBT before I ever even had 1,000 subscribers was, I still got a t-shirt in there, making the impossible possible. That's what I wanted to show people. So I look at this here comment when making a decision about sharing or keeping information, should that decision be based on the greater good or personal gain? I personally, with every channel except this one, all of my channels are for not personal gain, it's for the greater good. I ain't got to tell nobody how to travel points of mile. Hell, I'm getting where I need to go. I could tell my family, I could tell my friends. I got a whole YouTube channel about it. I had to get 4,000 hours of watch time, and I counted it the other day, almost 200 damn videos just to get 4,000 hours to even get $1 from YouTube.
Right.
Now I'm showing people how to invest with $1.05. I ain't got to do that. I can get up, make my own money, and skip hop and go buy TVs every day or whatever. But no, what do I say? A party of one is no fun. A party of five ain't no party. That's a get together. But if everybody doing this, guess what? I'm gonna have more friends to hang out with during the day instead of sitting outside deciding if I'm gonna take my Walmart chair to the back of the apartment building or the front of the apartment building. And I'm gonna be by myself wherever I go. It don't matter. I go to the pool, ain't nobody there. Why they all at work? But if I can get everybody to come up, guess what? Ryan go have some company.
Okay, see, and that's the thing that I think some people don't think about. And to answer C's question, when making a decision about sharing or keeping information, should that decision be based on the greater good? It all depends what your motive is. Why are you doing what you're doing? Now, yeah, if there's money to be made, everybody wants to make the most money that they can make. But guess what? There's money everywhere. There's money everywhere. There's money that's going to be made regardless. So your personal gain is going to get, and let me tell you also something else that this is what I have experienced in my life. And I can tell you, you'd be surprised who watch you. And I'm not talking about just on YouTube. Just
I've been saying that.
Look at your personal life, your professional life, whatever. People are watching you. When people see you making moves and doing things, you inspire other people. Other people are inspired when they see you do things. People like to see, even when you fail, people want to know, okay, this person failed, but they didn't let it get them down. They turned around and flipped it, and they came back stronger than ever. That gets respect from others. And at the end of the day, it's really a matter of, what are you really looking for? Are you looking for the money? Because let me tell you something. What I have always learned, and this is in my personal life, my professional life, and my YouTube life, I found that when you genuinely want to see other people win, even when it don't include you, even when it don't include you being a part of, or they surpassing you, when you truly, genuinely care about people succeeding, it's going to come back to you. Because let me tell you what happens. And it's not 100% of the time. It may not come from that person 100% of the time. Okay? Because the Lord didn't promise you that it's going to, your recognition is going to come from a person that you help. It may come from someone who watched you help somebody else. So I just want to put that out there. You have to understand that when someone else wins, you win. Because guess what that means? Other people are going to see that you mentored somebody, that you shared information with somebody. And guess what's going to happen? Somebody else is going to come to you again and be like, you know what? So-and-so said that you helped them, you mentored them, you educated them on some things, and they were able to take their business to the next level, or take their career to the next level, or take their finances to the next level, or take their travel game to the next level, take their fashion to the next level, whatever the next level is for them. People are going to come to you. And guess what? That now becomes an opportunity. Because if people are coming to you for this information, whether you give it out to people for free or not, even people who make money giving out the information, even if people make businesses giving out the information, they still give information for free. They still on social media that you don't have to subscribe to. They still are, they're out doing presentations. They on TED Talks. They on everywhere educating everybody to do it. And guess what? You get paid for that. So when you genuinely want to see other people succeed, you can't help but succeed. Do you know how good it feels to, I feel very good seeing employees that I used to have moving up in the game. And not that, oh, they still beneath or they equal. They done surpassed me. But guess what that means? I did a goddamn job. Do you understand what I'm saying? That to me says that it's in me to do it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it in my time though. But if I can share something with somebody else and it's going to help them catapult themselves, why not be happy about it? And you can still make it a business if that's what it is. You can make it a business, but even businesses do charity stuff. They still gotta, because you gotta write the taxes off, right? Okay. Right. Well, if you got a business giving out this information and you give information for free, you write that daggone thing off as a gift at the end of the year. You claim it on your damn taxes. Okay, you just got paid for that. So it's the same thing. So to me, I think that strategy is, to me, knowing when to give the information, who to give the information to. So I'm going to say this. If any of you have asked somebody who you know the answer and they refuse to give it to you, there's either one or two things of the reason why they didn't give you the information. The good thing is they feel you're not ready yet. They feel that if they give it to you, you're going to botch it up and just mess it up for everybody, right? Two, they're insecure and they probably know that you're going to take that information and blow up to no end and surpass them. And unfortunately, not everybody has your best interest in their heart. Not everybody is a genuine person that wants to see people succeed. Because I'm like, Rod, if everybody making money, then we all going on trips. If everybody can pick up and take off work because they ain't got to worry about the next check, guess what? You got more people to hang out with. Okay? Exactly. If people are moving up or whatever, we can all sit and be talking about like-minded things. So, and then if someone surpasses you, then you can say, hey, how you do that? So now they're willing to help you because you don't help them. So it is a win-win for everybody, to me anyway. Okay. And I get it. Yes, if you're playing against a football team, the whole thing is there's only one winner and one loser. I really won't call them losers. I say do it better next time. Do it better next timers. That's what I call it. Those are the things that to me genuinely want to see people win, regardless of whether it includes me, whether they surpass me. It don't make me no never mind, because guess what? What's for me is going to be for me. That might not have been for you. Just saying. Some people get upset because other people is flying past them and doing stuff, and they want to know why me, why not me? Because you ain't ready yet. Maybe you ain't ready yet. What they say, people who do, people who can't teach. I'm just saying. That's just a saying that they say. They say, a lot of people can say whatever, but can you actually execute? Okay, can you execute? That's what Tabitha was talking about, right? That whole controversy thing. That's a whole nother conversation. She was telling entrepreneurs that are trying to do things and they ain't making no money and their execution is weak. So it's not they're not thriving. They're just surviving. And she's like, you need to go get a job then. You need to work and work your business until your business can sustain, what you're bringing in from your job. And until it gets to that point, you need to keep working, whatever you do.
Ton, you bring up a good point, and I think that's when I saw a shift. Is when I told people that I was no longer working. I retired at Oh, what am I, 56, 53? Not 63. But no, let me rephrase it. I retired at 39. I retired from the military. You can relate to that being a military spouse. I retired at 39. Went to work again and retired again at 53. So twice.
Because you want
And
two
my
checks.
second
You want
retirement
all
was,
them checks. Go ahead.
yeah, it wasn't even. I got money on the table right now. I just finally called the VA, and I don't care because it's going to be retroactive to when I was first started. I got money sitting on the table with the VA right now. Probably, I don't know. That's what everybody's saying, the medical people and everybody. But with gatekeeping and what I like what Tanya was just saying, and what Trap got up here, you may never know how many people are inspired or blessed from your prayers. People are always watching. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you, man, I didn't sit outside as much once I stopped drinking as I did when I was drinking. Do y'all know how many people done stopped where I used to live at that house and then go in the neighbor's house? Like, is he okay? I haven't seen him. He usually is sitting outside. I don't even know these people. Mm-hmm. I did not even know these people was watching me like that. One dude was beating on my door like he was the police. And then my neighbor said, hey, man, you know this dude came to my house, their house, her house. I said, for real? Yeah, he was looking for you. You owe him some money? I said, no, man. He came and said he was concerned and he always see me out here. But that was a good thing because some kind of way I got a friend and didn't even know it. But I want to share something with y'all. And it's two people. One of them I can't remember who, and the other one was Shelton from Your Favorite Couple. And Key told a story when they first saw me, way before I had met them and knew who they were. Mm-hmm. Shelton was excited because he was telling Key he saw a black guy on YouTube talking about credit that looked like him, dressed like him, act like him. He just happened to see a later video where I had changed. But I want to show y'all something. This is how all of my videos used to be. And it's going to be funny. And now, y'all judge me now. And I got it stopped. But look at what I'm wearing. I don't care about my mouth and all that, but look at what I'm wearing, y'all. A tie.
What you wearing? You from Arkansas? What you wearing?
I got a shirt and tie on. You don't see that?
I see that.
Yeah. Every video, shirt, tie, suit. That's why I was looking down when Tanya was talking. And I apologize. I wasn't being real. I was trying to.
Oh no, that's fine.
But it was. I'm talking about suited, sports coat, jacket, suit. But you know what? I said, man, ain't nobody about to watch this. Ain't nobody about to watch this right here.
I'm just gonna tell you, look like a pastor that just got invited to Sunday dinner at somebody's house.
I look like, you know what I felt like? I felt like a dude that was lying to everybody. I wasn't, but that's what I felt like. I felt like a dude that was using big words because I have a degree. I know these big old words, and I had on a shirt and a tie, a suit, and I felt like an infomercial. I said, no, man. Rod, throw on you a t-shirt. When your haircut, show everybody your haircut. When it ain't, throw a hat on. But right now, I just felt like wearing a hat. I ain't feel like putting no berries and juices in it. And go from Rod, Mr. I got a degree in business and finance and all that, and go to being an educated thug. Throw a little bit of, you heard me? Throw a little of that in there, and guess what? I became relatable.
Right. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is.
I'm gonna tell you
what it is. That's why a lot of people, they get upset when they see folk at the executive table. And we're gonna touch on that. That's also about gatekeeping. Gatekeeping also keeps secrets away from other people. Gatekeeping keeps people guessing what it takes. So there are people, not everybody, but there are people who are like, I got to go, I got to get at that table or whatever. And that was me. That was me growing up. I aspired when I was young. Even if you look back career day in high school, we was looking at old yearbook pictures. And I'm living what I asked for. I'm living what I asked for. And let me tell you, it is nothing like I thought it was. I'm not saying it's not good. It is good. I am happy. I'm doing what I enjoy doing. I'm doing what I'm good at. and I work with some hellified people. But what I find is when you cross the gate, like a gate that a lot of people say is hard to get past. When you get past that gate, you begin to find out that everybody on that side ain't all who you think or thought they were. Meaning they ain't all smart. They ain't all good people. They ain't all bad people. And yes, I said the word ain't, and I meant to say it intentionally. I just want to let y'all know that, okay? Because I know the trolls may come for me. I know how to speak. They don't, you be surprised, you know. And Obama said the same thing. He said, you know, these Ivy League schools, people at the table, all of those people, you be surprised they put on your socks the same way we put on ours. They don't know 100% of nothing. They're not stupid, mind you, okay? Because now don't get it twisted. People don't get to places without being smart. It's just a matter of how they use their smartness to get there. They're all smart, okay? The key is being smart enough to stay there. That is the difference. You're smart enough to be able to sustain and stay there, then you deserve to be there. But not a lot of people get favors and do things to get there, but they usually don't last. They usually leave after a while, or they get asked to leave after a while. And you'd be surprised that not everybody is what you expect them to be. So sometimes gatekeeping is to keep the truth from being unknown. Because if you really think about it, think back in the day when you were younger. When you picture a CEO or CEO, like some type of chief something officer, whatever the officer is, you have it in your mind that this person is what? What comes to mind? Well-dressed, right? They probably exercise, take good care of themselves. They are very well-spoken. They're very smart. They know everything from the ground all the way up to where they at for everything. And they know how to treat people. They're very smart with how they address certain things. And then you sit at the table. And then you realize not everybody's is what you expect it to be. So yeah, you may have worked your way up to feel like that's what you need to do. Then you get in there and you realize, I did all this stuff for nothing. You mean I could have came in here and been half incompetent and still had this position? Some of us can, some can't. I'm just going to put that out there. But that is another form of gatekeeping. Gatekeeping is about being exclusive. Ivy League schools. Ivy League schools ain't about the education. I'm just saying. No one's saying the professors aren't teaching. But going to the Ivy League school, that is not the number one reason you go to an Ivy League school. You go to the Ivy League school to get access to opportunities. You go to the Ivy League school to connect with people who are already somebody. You're being connected with people who have kids who can afford to go to Ivy League school as if it's their community college. So that's just a drop. This is some pocket change for them. Okay, where some of us got to get scholarships and we got to save and we got to go work 2-3 jobs and get loans and be loan poor when you get out. But it's about having access. At the end of the day, it's about access. At the end of the day, the Ivy League schools, access. Sitting at the executive table, access. Because you have access to people that you probably wouldn't have had access to in your regular role. Okay, you have access to understanding how decisions are made, and then you be like, what the hell are they goddamn talking about? I thought that they did all of this to make these decisions, and then you turn around and it's like, so you just close your eyes and say, eeny, meeny, miny, mo? I'm not saying that's for everything. I just want to put that out there because I'm not saying that's everything. But there are places where that's what you see. So then you realize and go, oh, y'all ain't so exclusive after all. But that's not the image they want to portray. They want it to be where exclusive means no one can get in unless you're special. No one can be a part of this unless you're special. And everybody wants to feel special. You can kiss my black tail by sitting here and saying, I don't care what nobody think about me. I don't care about bullshit. Yes, you do.
I'm going to tell you something.
It's just a matter of who thinks about it.
You're right.
Everybody cares about what people think. It's just that you want the right people to think a certain way about you. So don't sit here and say, I don't care what nobody think.
Hey, I'm going to tell y'all a secret, man.
Bullshit. Yes, you do.
Tanya, I'm gonna tell them a secret, y'all. I don't do y'all like this because I love my viewers. I love the people, even if I don't care who tell them. I'm serious. In the last promo I did, I said I couldn't wait to kick it with my crew tonight. I don't care who channel they from. Tanya's mine, don't matter. But I'm gonna tell you a secret, man. People love to hear their name. I just don't do y'all like that. But if you catch somebody, if I'm talking to somebody, don't let me. Once I ask you your name, you're gonna hear about 58 times.
So you can remember it.
No, they think it's, but people love to hear their name. Man, John, what you say, John? No, John. No, they didn't. John, tell me some more about that. Right. They say, boy, you ain't even talked to John but 15 minutes. Y'all best friend. You can get anything you want. Now, I don't drop no damn gems and nuggets because everybody think they doing that. I drop boulders. I'm going to hit you smack dab upside the head with some information right now. If you want to get past gatekeeping, it's two things you got to do. Mm-hmm. Y'all can write this down, scribble it with some chalk, whatever you got, dry erase markers, I don't care, but remember it. Put it in your phone. It's two things you can do. Number one, be quiet. Shut the hell up. If you want to get past the gatekeepers and get information, just be quiet.
Listen.
Number two, sometimes I get more information when I ain't trying to be the sharpest tack in the box.
That's right.
Let me break that down for y'all. When I'm dressed to the nines and I got my suit and tie and my Rolex on and I pull up and I open the door and that Genesis and the little Genesis sign flash on the ground, I just became certifiably dangerous. I'm a young black man dressed to the nines. Wait, hold on. Don't look like... Oh, Tanya, you did something. I don't know what you doing. I thought I had you shouting over there. Okay. I'm dressed in
what you say? You say you a young black what?
A young black man. Young.
Well, a young black man.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let I ain't taking nothing from you. I'm just saying I don't look at myself as young no more. So I know.
All right, well, y'all, please tell you I'm an older black man.
I'm just saying I'm a black man. Just say I'm a black man.
I'm dangerous
a black man
because of how I'm looking. But if I'm over there with a hoodie on and some sweats, I ain't got to be sagging and look like I'm getting ready to hurt nobody. But I just look normal. I'm just fitting in. They probably think I ain't even listening to them. They know the suited up Rod listening, but the Rod over there with the hoodie and just sitting over there staring into space, that's the Rod that got the antennas up. You right about that. You right about that, Rod. You sure are. Cause get what? If I go to a boxing match and the dude got on some shorts and some boxing gloves, that's probably the dude I'm about to fight. But if the dude sitting over there with the water bottle and the afro and Skitty come over and hit me in the jaw, he the one gonna knock me out because I ain't expecting him to hit me. I'm expecting the dude with the equipment on. That's right. Right. That's how I get past the gatekeepers. When I want to get past the gatekeepers, I go out there and look like I'm homeless. And I get everything. See, the thing is this. The thing is people what you call it? They underestimate people. Because if they look at you and they feel like, oh, you don't know nothing about what we talking about anyway. Like, how you gonna use this information? Those are ones who are like, I'm only watching and observing to see if it's even worth it. Just saying. Mm-hmm. I'm listening. I'm in whatever. And you're right. Sometimes the best way to get through the gate is to look like you ain't trying to get through the gate. Yeah, if you watch a movie I ain't gonna say which channel because Tanya gonna talk about me. But if you watch a movie on that free channel that's streaming,
Lord, Tubi,
they don't go to do no hit with the guns out. They look like they the carpenters, the painters, the construction men. They're them the ones that's gonna get you. It ain't gonna be the dude. I'm telling y'all, man. Boy, since I quit working, if I ain't did none of this, I pay attention to and quit working and quit drinking, I pay attention to everything, man. Everything. And it's amazing the things we miss that are right there in our face, but we just overlook them. We just overlook them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, and tell me if you ever experienced this. Sometimes we be thinking people gatekeeping on us and keeping information from us. And we don't realize, we get mad at them. We get so upset with them, but we don't realize they may be in a position to gatekeep, or we have to gatekeep from a person for their own, you said it earlier, for their own good, their own safety, for the betterment of it. Have you ever had to do that? I mean, I ain't trying to get personal.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Have
I ever tried? Have I ever had to gatekeep for what?
For like to not hurt somebody, keep something from somebody for the betterment of them. I know you have. I'm assuming you have. I think everybody have, but
I haven't withheld info. It's more of selecting the time to share. Because like I said before, well, I gave the example in the beginning, like when you're married, relationship, whether it's a friendship, marriage, whatever, sometimes if you have to tell somebody something, you have to strategically know when to say it because you want them to receive it. And you want them to receive it in the right way, not out of anger, no emotion, it's really you just listening. So yes, there are times when I've had to do that and still do. And the same thing at work. Sometimes it's something you really do want to say something to somebody, but right now may not be the time. You may have to wait and tell them another time, because at the end of the day, you got to look at what is your reason for telling them. Now, I'm going to put this out there. Y'all come for me in the comments all you want. What I have found, and this has been consistent, and y'all Aries could let me know if that's factual or not. That, and I'm not like a horoscope junkie, but I just find that there are some, not 100%, but there are some that fit the characteristics of certain horoscopes. And one of the things I find is in Aries is very much about letting you know what it is, saying what they feel is on their mind, and they really feel like, hey, I'm just an honest friend, and that's fine. But I also feel there's a time and a place for it. And I think that determining the time and the place is usually from a person who really cares about how the message is being received and the intent of why they're saying what they're saying. Okay. And I'm not saying that your intent is going to automatically be accepted regardless of when you say it, because some people don't want to hear it at all. And that's fine. But if a person knows that you're not coming at them with a malice nature, then they may listen to it, or they may be mad. They can be mad, but at the end of the day, they'll come back and still respect you because your whole intent was really for them to get the message, and not because, like some people do, they want to embarrass you. They figure, well, you know what? I'm going to embarrass you and you'll definitely won't repeat it again. Yeah, that might be the case, but I'm definitely ain't fucking with you no more. So, if that's what you want, or if you don't care, then it don't matter. Then why even bother to say anything? If you didn't care, then don't bother, right? But if it's a matter of, hey, I really wouldn't want you to do this again, then you selectively choose a time where that person will be more receptive of it. Because at the end of the day, you do want them to correct it, or at least let you know how you're feeling about it. Doesn't mean they're going to change, right? It just means that they understand how you feel about it. And so that way they understand that this is coming from a place of, I would like for us to still have a relationship, whether it's a relationship, friendship, a coworker, networking relationship, whatever it is. However, if by me expressing my feelings to you is going to cause you to be like, I ain't messing with you no more, then we don't need to. We don't need to be friends. We don't need to be coworkers. We don't need to be in a relationship of any kind anyway. But at least they know that they still respect you because you didn't just try to blow their spot up in front of people. You know, you're not trying to make them feel any certain type of way. It's more of a one-on-one. Let's talk about this versus, well, Heifer, I know when you did. No, we're not doing that. But gatekeeping information, to me, I'm usually very strategic about when I say things. It doesn't mean I may not be thinking things. Just want to put that out there. Just mean I may not say it because either it's not worth saying, because if you say it, it has to have some value to it. If there's no value to it, I ain't saying nothing. I could think it all that goddamn day long, but I ain't gonna say it.
And see, that's what I'm working on, Tanya, because, and I'm sure you can relate to this. I know Timmy can. Being in the military, boy, we said what we was thinking. And people said to us what they were thinking. And we just continued the tradition. And when I got out and retired, I had to transition to not doing it. And then I got comfortable because I found a way to do it. And it's crazy because right here, it's possible that you could be the type of person that says it like it is, and your experience has taught you time and a place. Yes, my experience.
But some people don't learn.
But once I thought I had it, I remember, I don't say steps. So my daughter, my ex's daughter, her youngest daughter, told me a long time ago, many years ago, she said, you don't have no chill. And I didn't know what she was talking about.
No filter, no chill.
Hey, she right. I didn't. And I don't. But I'm working it. And I do. And I tell you two things that happened from me not having chill. And not on purpose. It's just how it happened. When I was in the military, I was probably one of the hardest dudes to work for. My name from this channel, Points Blank, come from point blank. I'll just put an S on there because I'm talking about points and miles. Dropping boulders, I really mean that. I'm going to hit you upside the head. I don't care how you feel. I don't care if I hurt your feelings. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I'm just going to tell you the truth. You don't like it, don't talk to me no more. I remember in the Navy, a guy told me he didn't appreciate me cursing at him. And I said, really, man, I understand. Read my lips. I don't give a F.
Right.
And boy, he was so mad. He was super big. He would have killed me if he'd have hit me. He would have hurt me. He called me many years later and told me thank you. Not for cursing him, but thank you because he was the IT security at a major civilian firm. Major. I'm just not going to say it, but major. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about one of the top in the country. Then another dude that I happen to be straightforward with was the department head of operations at San Francisco International Airport. These are two people that worked for me that once or twice or 17 times I heard them whispering how mean I was. But years later, they thanked me the same way I thanked my mentor, who was the worst boss in the world, I thought. But he's the reason I'm doing some of the enjoyable things of life today because he was hard on me.
Well,
I love it. Y'all, just so y'all know, sometimes we contrast and I'll say stuff to get Tanya hyped up, but I'm being real, but I want to see what she got to say.
My thing is, you know,
don't be all political. Just be point blank, girl. Point blank.
No. This is off because this is off topic. But my thing is, it's just us. Let me ask you this. Well, okay, those individuals learned because you were point blank. So did they learn because you was just upfront with them, or did they learn because you gave them right info? I mean,
let me explain.
There are people who can be upfront with people but they're very unprofessional, very nasty, very condescending, and so forth. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. So then,
Let me say
basically,
exactly how I did
I
it.
don't have anything to say because
Let me answer your
there are
question.
people who because people will always find the good out of it.
What I do when I did that, I don't do it as much. If I got knee deep in your butt, probably within no more than 3 hours, I'm going to calm down and I'm going to come back and sit down and we're going to talk. And I'm going to tell you why I reacted, how I reacted, and what I think we can do to alleviate to make sure it don't happen again. I could be wrong. That 2 or 3 hours time frame that I given myself, and sometimes I found out I didn't go about it the best way. Mm. So what if I was that condescending person that gonna say what I gotta say, not think about it, and what I say is it, and that's it. But and then right here, once you said it, you can't take it back. Mm-hmm. And this is from Mickey's Adventures. Once I say whatever, I can't take it back. So if I don't have any positive reinforcement behind it, I don't need to say it.
Okay. Okay.
That was how I did it. I ain't gonna just say, hey, you just I can't say I can, but I'm not. I'm not gonna say you're a dumbass and then leave it at that. Because what if later on you go jump off the ship and it's because I called you a dumbass? Right. I ain't gonna have that on my conscience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I called you that, I'm gonna tell you why. Maybe because you did something that could have killed both of us, and then we'll learn. We'll learn together, and then I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna find some reason to tell you and show you that I appreciate you within that 2 or 3 hour time.
Got you. Okay.
So one says funny because in my younger days I regretted the things I didn't say, so I'm much more active this way now. Yeah. Do you ever do that, Tanya? I don't see you not saying, I don't see you not speaking your mind.
Actually, believe it or not, if I said everything that was on my mind, I think a lot of things. But I'm mature, so I know that it's not, there's a time and a place to either say it or you just learn it's not worth being said. If it's not adding value, I'm not bringing it up. I'm just going to be honest. And I can tell you there is truth to, you have individuals who say what they think. Mm-hmm. Okay. What we were like talking about just now. Mm-hmm. And there are individuals who think certain things, but they also take into consideration, if this comes out of my mouth, is it going to hurt somebody or is it going to provide value? And if it's not going to provide value, I'm not saying it. It's not worth saying it. So just because I don't say it, don't mean I'm not thinking it. But I do say, what is on my mind, but trust me, I'm very seldom am I trying to hurt anybody. I may say some things and I may joke on somebody. I may roast somebody, in a humorous way. But outside of that, no, I'm not going to say, unless you put me there. Mm-hmm. If it's something that an individual is poking, just like a bull with the red flag. I'm in the corner minding my business, which is what you normally see the bull doing, right? The bull is in the corner minding their business, eating some grass or whatever. And then the little man want to come and put the little red flag and just taunt you to death and then be like, okay.
Tell you, I'm laughing to tell you because I'm the little man with the red flag. Well, not now, but I've been in relationships, and I was that dude. I was like old, I guess, before I was old. Mm-hmm. I'm that dude that if I'm disagreeing with the person I'm with, that say what they got to say, leave the room and think of what else they wanted to say, and go back. The argument's supposed to be over. Go back and start up and and then I lose every time. I don't know why I would just sit over there, shut up, and be quiet because I lost every argument. I don't know. I guess I thought going back, I was gonna get him, but boy, I never won, man. But now I like what Mickey said. I don't like it, but it's so true. I've only regretted not saying something once because I didn't get a chance to see the person and tell them what I wanted to. If I said what I wanted to, I would have lost my job, but I'm glad I didn't.
Okay. And sometimes you, like I said, that's where maturity comes. Knowing when to say something, knowing when not to say something. Having a discerning spirit is being mature. Same thing with the gatekeeping, circling back over to our topic. Knowing when to share, knowing when to wait. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what is your intent behind the waiting? Is your intent, because my intent on waiting to say something or whatever is so, because I'm always considerate of how is this person going to receive what I'm saying? Am I saying something to a person at the wrong time? Is it going to hurt them? Is it going to make them feel inferior? Is it going to make them feel like I'm being condescending? Or is it going to feel like, you're just trying to embarrass me? You see what I mean? Because then that's what a person's mind goes to versus what you said. Because all they doing is looking at why you saying it now. Why not wait and just talk to me? You see what I mean? So now it becomes a whole nother issue. So I'm always considerate about what I say, what I don't say, or whatever, unless I'm purposely trying to be humorous or I'm purposely trying to be inappropriate, which is what you all know me as. Most of the time, if I say something outright, it's because I want you to know, and that's how I want you to take it. If it's somebody that's been poking the bear, it's because now I don't care where we are. Now I don't care how you feel because you keep poking it. And even though you and I have had this discussion, you keep doing it. So now that you keep doing it, then you should be ready for whatever I got to say after the fact. But that doesn't happen too often. But trust me, most of the time I'm thinking the obvious. If somebody's walking down the street, me and another person walking down the street, and you see somebody and they got on some raggedy shoes, in my mind, please know I'm saying, what the hell are they doing outside with them raggedy shoes on? And I'm not talking about homeless people. I'm not talking about people who ain't got no money. I'm talking about people who willingly walk out the house looking like any goddamn thing.
They may be comfortable, tell you, because some days I walk out like that, like today.
Okay, and guess what? And that's fine, but then you should already know people gonna think or talk about you. That's all I got to say.
Well, really, when I go out, and you're right, when I go out like that, I don't care. So I can't walk out the house not caring, and then all of a sudden care if somebody says something.
That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, you can't. You know you look like crap when you walk out. If somebody say, "Hey man, what you got on, OG?" I can't get mad because I knew somebody had a.
Thank you.
I had a chance. Somebody was gonna say something when I left.
Thank you. Exactly. Thank you.
Cruising Chris said that goes to maturity. I'm gonna go back to some comments too. I work as a teacher, and kids try to poke buttons all the time. You can't fall for and these kids are getting smarter, Chris. I mean, people keep saying social media. I think it's media in general. These kids are getting smarter. Everybody talking about the kids standing in the house, they ain't outside playing, but these kids are getting smart. They have access to stuff that we dreamed about, and they know how to poke. They know how to poke. I mean, not only do they know how to poke, I think we knew how to poke when we were kids, but we weren't brave enough to do it. These kids now, not only do they know how, they bold enough to do it.
No, they ain't bold. No, they not. They behind a computer screen. They behind the little text boxes and the keyboard.
I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about them kids that like at home talking crazy to their parents.
Those are bands. That's my acronym, BANs.
What that stand for? Oh, I think I know. It's your first two badass.
No, ain't no they're bitch ass.
Lord have mercy.
That's how I put it. Period.
I love it, man.
Bands. I'm calling them bands now. That's the new acronym from me. Bands. And that's exactly what they are. Folk that be talking a lot of crap behind there. I'd be like, keep that same energy when you see me in person. Keep that same energy.
Trap just said something that really is so true. And that's kind of what I was experiencing. Some people, not that I needed to, but I felt I needed to. Some people need to look like something they aren't. And the delivery of said topic is a disaster. This is perfect because when I first started YouTube, one guy was Asian and one guy was from Europe. Both, one had an accent more than the other. The one from Europe had more of an accent. That's why I was patterning myself after, but it didn't work for me. Now, I didn't need to do that, but I felt the need to do that. And I did it. And Trap is right. It was a complete disaster. Complete. And I had to find my own niche and I had to be myself, whatever that looked like. Some people gonna like it, some people gonna hate it, and some people gonna be in between. But at the end of the day, they gonna get the real me.
That's right. That's right.
You know, you're not gonna get the fake me, and then I got a bunch of fake people, and then I'm mad when they done disappear. Well, they really wasn't really rocking with you anyway. They were just rocking with who they thought you were.
Right. Exactly.
So,
exactly. I think that so I have a last question. And my last question is, hold on, because I had where my questions at.
It's a lot we didn't go over. We might have to do a part 2 because it's a lot, I think. Not a lot, but it's more, and we don't want to go over. We have a section.
Yeah, no, I just had one question. When does gatekeeping become discrimination or exclusion?
Oh, and that's in some of my examples, and I can probably with my phone. I'm gonna read some of the examples. I just didn't go over them because I didn't want to flood it with. It seemed like some of it was repetitive, that I didn't want to be all. It wasn't negative, but I wanted to hit different spectrums. But I think now, when can it be? What? Say that again. What was that last part? When can gatekeeping be?
When does gatekeeping become discrimination or exclusion?
Like gatekeeping and media information. I'm just gonna give you some examples. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm gonna say briefly. Discriminatory news editors. These are examples, y'all. This is an article I got. I ain't make this up. So news editors, they can choose what they want to put in the media. You don't see as many newspapers as you used to, but you may see a certain group of people or a certain type of people that's going to be in the headlines for negative stuff more than other people. It could be discriminating. Social media moderators is an example they use. They did. They may put all of their friends' comments up and skip the people they don't know, or ban people because they don't like their name. Maybe it's something they experienced personally. You have to watch who's your moderator. Advertisers and proprietors. You might look a certain way, they don't think it's going to sell, and they won't advertise you because they don't think you're going to make them any money. It could be a discrimination.
That's true.
I'll tell you one that it's across the board. It's no one particular thing. When you walk into a business, discrimination is happening so quickly. It could be a discrimination against a woman. It could be a discrimination against a man, your color, your height, your weight. Well, I ain't gonna sit over here and tell him nothing because he looked like a thug, or I'm not gonna tell her nothing because women think they moving up in the world anyway. So it happens. I'm telling you, a lot. It happens a lot of times before we even know it.
Well, judgment. To me, to be honest, I think that the Black woman is okay. Not just Black women, the minority woman in the room already gets judged. For number one, it's a man's world. It is what it is, right? It's a man's world, so it's a man. Then you add the fact that you're a minority. You always have to be 10 steps ahead of everybody. You already have to be 10. You have to be the best. if not the bestest, right? And when you walk in the door, it's already a judgment. Just saying. It's already a judgment. So the gatekeeping starts. It's either I'm not telling you information because I don't think you're smart enough anyway to use this information for the greater good. That's number one. Second thing is I'm not going to gatekeep because I'm going to gatekeep because I don't think you're smart enough anyway. And so you get all of this, let me test you. You start to get questions that maybe other people don't even get asked. You know, they don't get asked those individual questions because the assumption is that they know, but the assumption for you is that you do not know. And this is a piece that I think that most people don't understand, is that most gatekeeping occurs amongst the minority population. It's like crabs in a barrel. It's, you know what? I done arrived. I'm at the executive table. I don't need to share nothing with you because you need to figure it out on your own. Because, or you get individuals who are now at the table and they don't share it because they feel like the individuals that they're talking to don't know what to do with the information. So it's just like when I was on the frontline staff, when I was actually the worker bee, is what I call it. You can probably name a whole bunch of people that you would recommend for a job if you had the authority to hire them, right? There's a whole bunch of people you can put on, is basically the term, right? I'm gonna put you on and we're gonna do this. And then you get up there and then you realize what it takes. And then you realize that some of those people really ain't got what the hell it takes. So then now your list gets smaller and smaller because now guess what? If you make it, now it matters who you put your name on to make it. Because if you put your name on them and they get there and Ray want to act like a damn fool, guess what that means? Now it's going to be extra harder for the next person to get in the gate, because the first thing they say is, don't forget, when the minorities mess up, see, that's why we don't let the minorities in.
Mm-hmm.
We don't let the minorities in the gate.
Yep.
But if it's a non-minority, they can screw up all the daggone time. It's just that person. But when minorities screw up, the gate start getting closed. They like, no, because last time we let you in, you let your friend in or your colleague in, and Ray came in here acting crazy. Or they didn't do their job, or they didn't show up for work, or they was always gone, or they didn't know how to treat their employees, or whatever. You know, so gatekeeping sometimes is also, do you gatekeep to keep yourself together?
And that's, Tay, that's one thing I hate about, and going with the whole discrimination thing. And you started it off with like a woman, where you said black woman, then you went to woman. And I thought about what my mom used to tell my brother and I, where y'all have to work twice as hard just to be the same as people that don't look like you. And this was back in the early 70s, mid 70s in the South. And I look at Ray and them, it irks me. It seemed like with the African American race, one person can mess up, and now it's everybody that's like this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where one person in other races can mess up, it's just that one individual,
right? Exactly.
And not the whole entire. Oh well, yeah, well that's how they are or whatever. That irritates me to the fullest. And I do want to read this here. I want to go over these two real quick. I don't want to get too far off topic because we'll start a whole nother thing. Discrimination on my side of the house is trap vision 3D. Comes down to the type of watches you don't have. Audemars and Philippe Patek, Rolex. And it's crazy because I didn't even know how to pronounce these names until I started watching Trap Vision 3D's channel. I knew the watches, I didn't know how to pronounce them. I have 2 Rolexes And I choose to wear watches that are far more less expensive than that because I like them. And
Trap, you did notice that he did flex right there, right?
no, Trap already knew.
I'm just saying.
No, Trap
already.
He already knew.
Go ahead, Mr. Rolex. Like he ain't got one, he got two. He got two Rolex. Go ahead,
But
Rob.
the point I'm trying to make is, to be honest, once the thrill of getting them and my hard work paid off, they didn't matter anymore. It was just another watch, you know. And Trap saying he's been discriminated. I probably would too, but I'm being discriminated by something I don't even care about. I don't care about. Matter of fact, I don't even know what one of them is right now, Tanya. Since I moved,
Another
I mean,
flex.
it's somewhere.
Another flex.
No, it's not a flex. I just don't know because I moved.
Let me tell you what a flex is.
Yeah, I know what a flex is.
No, you don't understand because you saying that's not a flex. Y'all ever known somebody who got a certain amount of money that the stuff that a lot of us want to pack? Like, for instance, I have me 2 pair of red bottom sneakers, one backpack that's a red bottom backpack. That's a Louboutin. I'm just gonna say Louboutin. Louboutin, and I'm gonna pronounce it correctly. Louboutin backpack, and I have a Louboutin purse.
Well, who flexing? Louis
No. Shut up. So,
Louis who?
No. But let me tell you the difference. I bought those as these were like accomplishment. When I reached certain goals, that was a gift to myself. Okay. The sneakers were a gift and the backpack was a gift, but the purse was a gift from my aunt. Okay. And so I keep them things in them bags that they give you, them individual bags with the shoes and the purses. Because I ain't trying to get nothing scuffed up, nothing rubbed on them, no nothing. I keep them wiped down. I know where they at. But when somebody tell you, I don't even know where my Chanel flip-flops are. I think I left them in the stateroom on the cruise ship.
It's here.
I don't know. I'm just gonna have to get me another pair.
No, I didn't say that.
No, you said I don't even know what one of them Rolexes is. I don't even know where it is. How the hell? Let me tell you something. If I had a Rolex, and that is a watch that I did tell my husband, I want one before I die off this earth. That's all I told him. I want a Rolex watch before I die. And I don't want no basic shit either. I want some shit that look like, just like the car. I want a Rolex. I want to watch that when you see that bitch on my arm, you be like, oh, damn. That's, if you don't say, oh, damn, I ain't spending no money on no watch.
Well, let me tell you something.
If you don't say, damn, it ain't even got to cost a lot. It's just like the car. My husband said, what kind of luxury car do you want? I'm like, there ain't none out there because everything look like something else.
Everything that ain't shit. Like, yeah. Well,
right.
Let me tell you something.
So I said, but you know what? One car that don't look like nothing that we can afford. I'm gonna put that out there because we're not talking about trade show type stuff. The normal people who got jobs type shit.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Cadillac. I don't care what nobody say. When a Cadillac come down the road, it don't look like nothing goddamn else but a Cadillac. Period. Point blank. Got me my Lyric. He got me my all electric Lyric Cadillac, and that baby hum like a spaceship and look fly as hell coming down the street. And you know what? That's what I wanted. I didn't want no damn Mercedes because that motherfucker looked like a Toyota. I didn't want no damn BMW because sometimes that shit look like a Hyundai. I'm just saying, if you take the emblem off, you wouldn't know what it was unless it's one of them collector items. I'm just saying.
What kind of Cadillac you got again? A Lyric?
A Lyric. It's all inclusive, yeah. Not all inclusive, all electric Cadillac. It's a red one. And
what color is
my first and only luxury car. I do not plan on ever getting a Mercedes or a BMW or whatever.
But you can, though, right? You can, right?
Huh?
You can get one if you want it, right?
Okay. I can, but that wouldn't be a financially smart thing for me to do.
Well,
One, most people that got them spend more time in the damn shop. And let me tell you something. You know why a lot more people lease those type of cars?
Why?
Is because the maintenance on them is a mug. You ever try changing a light bulb in one of them BMWs?
No, but
or
see
Mercedes-Benz?
what happened?
What happened? It ain't that damn serious. If my husband can't take the goddamn lens off and replace the fuse and the button, it ain't happening.
See, that's what I was saying. Now, hold up. Now, let me go back. Because first of all, I wasn't flexing when I got these watches. I wasn't flexing. And I'm going to explain how I got them real quick.
YFC stop. Okay, go ahead.
And then now I'm going to put it here. I'm going to say, you said all inclusive. Flex.
Not all inclusive. You know what I meant.
You got all lyric or some kind of car over there.
Lyric, yes.
You flex it. It's red, you know. And then Trap even seen, he said, ballin'. I ain't say it. And then they said, flex again. Tell you said all inclusive car. See?
I had a trip on my brain. Now, I had a vacation on my brain.
Y'all, we're in the court and Rod is going to defend himself. When I got my first Rolex, I waited. Y'all, I want y'all to hear this story. I went to the mall probably at least once a month or once every 2 months. And I would go to the same store and I would ask the same guy to try a Rolex. They had different ones. It was pre-owned to try a Rolex on. I couldn't afford it. And the guy, you could see it in his face. He would be so irritated because he knew I wasn't going to buy one. I couldn't buy one. But he still helped me every time I went in there. I paid my car off. It was $400 a month. I had a Lexus that I had, and I paid it off. An old Lexus, nothing new. I paid it off. It was actually $425. I went in there. I said, "Hey, man, here's what I want."
Okay, wait. What was $425?
My car.
Oh,
was $425 per month. So I went to the jeweler, and I said, "Hey, I'm looking for a Rolex, but what I want to do is I want to finance one at 0%, no more than say 13, 14 months." And they were about $5,000, $6,000 at the time. And I'll put some down if I need to. Nothing down, 0%, 13 months. I paid the Rolex off as if I would have been paying my car note, and I kept the same old car instead of doing like everybody else and going buy a new one.
Okay.
The second Rolex I got, I bought so I wouldn't be down in the dumps because I got fired from a job and went right across the street to the mall and bought me a Rolex. And went right back to the job that fired me and asked him, "Do you know what time it is?" And looked at my Rolex and smiled and walked out the door. And within 2 hours, I had another job at the dealership right next door. Now, I could have went home and sulked in my misery. So it wasn't no flex.
Ain't that a shame? Just sulk in your misery. Huh?
Well, I ain't got no all lyric Rolex.
You got two Rollies. The Trap said Lexus, old or new, is still a Lexus. Ballin'.
Well, I will say this here, y'all, man. When it comes to gatekeeping, the way I feel about it is if we just really seriously take the time and pay attention to ourselves and our loved ones and not worry about everybody else. Mm-hmm. Like my mom told me a long time ago, once you give somebody something, it's out of your hands, literally and really and theoretically. You can't control what they do once you give it to them. If you give them information, how they use it, you may think it's for the best intent in the world and they use it for the most malice in the world. Mm-hmm. You don't know. So I'm not going to sit over here and worry about what I say and how I say it, not in a negative way, but in a positive way. Well, I don't want people to think that I'm done with that, because at the end of the day, like Tanya said, if I can help, and Trap said, if I can help one person, that was why I started all this. I didn't start it to see who gonna get mad, who gonna hate, who gonna appreciate, who gonna be over here in the corner sucking on their thumb because they think I'm balling. No, I started this so I could see people come up, motivate. Wait, how did I have it? Educate, motivate, elevate. That was one of the first slogans of PBT. I wanted to educate people to learn how to about credit and get credit card. Then I want to motivate them to go do it. Then I want them to elevate and see and film flying first class because I wasn't supposed to do it. I wanted to show them being on a certain floor
It
in the
can be
high.
done. That's right.
I wasn't supposed to do it.
Right. Right.
And if I can do it, anybody can do it. Trust me. Tanya, it's on you. That's my closing comments.
Well, what I have to say is when it comes to gatekeeping, just make sure that when you do it, that you're doing it not out of malice.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure if you're doing it, it's because you want to deliver the right message to the right individuals who's going to do the right things with it. Make sure that you're only withholding information because you know that maybe some of the information is not valid, some of the information is not credible or whatever, but not because you're insecure, not because you don't know, you're afraid of what this person is going to do with it, and not afraid in a bad way, but afraid in a more selfish way, because let me tell you something, what you put out, you get back. And I don't know about anybody else, but when I say I get happy when I see people doing something, like I said, this is the key. Some people are always happy that people are doing well, as long as they're not doing better than them. But it don't matter to me, because the more people that I touch and I see them surpass, that to me says that's a flex of myself. Okay, because I can say I'm producing CEOs, I'm producing COOs, I'm producing top performers, I'm producing top. That is a flex. Okay, it's no different than somebody who is teaching new models to walk. You may not be modeling anymore, but if you can touch and you see all these Tara Banks and Naomi Campbells and all of these other people that you're producing, that's a flex in of itself. So when I see people advancing because they came to me and it could be something as small and simple, you never know. It sometimes it's not even anything major. It could be they asked you how to do something and you showed them this one thing to do, and they was able to do that and expand on it and just blow up. That to me, when I say I get ecstatic, I get ecstatic. That's why I praise my members when they're doing things, when people are out there doing their thing. I'm always in support. And guess what? I support, and I don't even need recognition for it. That just goes to show that how sincere I am. Some people help and they want their name plastered everywhere. Well, so-and-so did this and that. I don't do that. If I support, I'm going to support you however I support you, however I can support you. I don't need recognition. I don't need it blasted all over the internet or blasted all over the job or blasted it. I'm good. Because at the end of the day, it's going to come full circle back to me. And that's why I'm continuing to keep doing and walking in my purpose is basically what I call it. Because it allows me to continue to walk in my purpose when I'll get others to walk in theirs. So gatekeeping, don't do it for malice reasons. Make sure that you are giving it to people who can use it to their best advantage, making sure that you're not wasting your time or your energy or your information, because you do need to be selective about who has access to you and who has access to your information, because it's not meant for everybody, because everybody's not going to use it for the right things or the good things. So that's pretty much all I have to say.
There are some comments in here that I do have to address, and I pulled them up and I was hoping the people didn't leave, and I don't think they did. One thing I do want to say in closing that I didn't say is Tanya brought up a good point, and that's why I'm bringing it up now, is the biggest flex you can have is if you're in any type of supervisory position. I'm not always talking about a job. You could be a parent, you could be a guardian, you could be an aunt, an uncle, or whatever. To see that person, somebody said it earlier, do better than you. I know as a E7 or a chief petty officer in the United States Navy, I can't speak for any other branch. You have two jobs. It's to train the people underneath you to be better than you,
That's
and
right.
it's to train junior officers that are straight out of the academy.
That's
Junior
right.
officers, the people that we have to salute. E7 and above, train those people along with other officers. One of my biggest flexes I had just happened. It happened in 2025. Had nothing to do with money, had nothing to do with no YouTube. It happened on Facebook, but I posted something. I can't remember. And one of my, I think my third commanding officer, who happened to be African American, commanding officer is the head guy of the ship, the captain.
Mhm.
So he texted me, put it in a comment on Facebook. I salute you.
Mhm.
Officers don't salute enlisted. Enlisted
Right.
salute officers. That was one of the biggest flex. And
Mhm.
I knew what he was saying. It was his way of saying he was proud of me,
Right.
the person that I had become and trained. With that being said, I want to pull up something along those same lines. Shelter from your favorite couple. And I know it's him because I know where it came from and who it came from. Um,
What you put out is what you get out. I
yeah,
need.
it's not that one. It's another one. And I just had it. I probably started. Here we go. Well,
You put
Mickey,
in $20, you're gonna get $20. Don't get mad. Go
people
ahead.
are going to get whatever they want with whatever you gave them. Yep. And
That's
right
right.
here, create generation opportunity, not generation wealth. That is my closing comment. A young man said that on a live stream where we collaborated. Nigel Schroeder. He's probably about 23, 24 now. He was 21 at the time, multiple businesses, knew way more about credit than I did. And he said in one live stream that so many people were concerned with generational wealth. He was more concerned with creating generational opportunities. Shelton, if that's what you're
That's
speaking
right.
of, please, if you're still in here, let me know because I vividly remember that. If we're going to accept gatekeeping as a practice and even practice it ourselves, then we must also accept the bad side of it and learn to recognize it. Amen.
Correct.
Amen. That says everything in a
Correct.
nutshell right there. I will always try to help my fellow friend because I want to see people doing great. I will flex knowing that I am producing level-headed people that may lead the world. There you go. Right there. Well said. Make it event.
Right.
Trav said, I'm trying to touch a model too. Okay. What you put out is what you get out. I need to go to the casino, Tanya, confirmation. What you said, T, isn't that what being an influencer is about? Yeah.
Well, I put it to you this way. I'm gonna tell you this. If there's anybody out there listening that comes across me, and I can also speak for my husband because my husband is the ultimate. You wash my hand, I wash yours. That's him. Okay. My thing is, because I am a good-hearted person and I mean well, and if I come to you and you act like you don't want to share information with me for whatever reason, please understand I know exactly what that looks like. And all that does is just motivates me. And if the original intent was not to compete, then the second part will be to compete. And I'm not saying compete in the same, I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm talking about anything. Is that now it's okay, you won't share with me. I don't have to share nothing with you. But guess what? There's plenty of other people around that I can connect with in order to elevate myself. And when I do, don't come to me just like Mike Jones. Back then you didn't want me, now I'm hot, you all on me. That don't come with that. Don't come with that. And my thing is, if you're not willing to help folk in the beginning, I prefer people who prefer to help folk. If I see that you're the type of person that you want to keep stuff to yourself and you want to be, my thing is I would prefer someone to say to me this: hey, I really would want to give you this information, but I think there's probably more value in you learning how to access it on your own. However, let me give you this pointer and this will get you started. I can appreciate that more. That to me is when you really want you're teaching a different lesson. Because sometimes it's not about the end result. Sometimes it's about the person learning the process to learn different characteristics in order to reach that end goal. And I get it. But then you need to say that.
You know, Tonya, you just brought up something, y'all. I promise I'm gonna say this and I'm done. I'm not reading any more comments. Your favorite couple confirmed. Yep, is exactly what I was talking about with Nigel. In 1995, I was 26. I remember going to a barbecue restaurant in San Diego, Spring Valley, California, to be exact. And I asked an older brother, an older black guy, I said, hey, man, I always wanted a barbecue joint. You got some good barbecue. I want to own something like this. How do a young brother like me do it? You know what he told me, Tanya? He told me to go to the library and read a book. I said, what? Okay.
What?
He told me to go to a library and check out a book and read it to learn how to open a barbecue business. That was in 1995. In 1996, he had an idea. San Diego, I think it was 96, 97. San Diego was building Petco Park, a new baseball stadium. He wanted to open a barbecue spot downtown San Diego, upscale. And he came to the same young man that he told to go to the library and read a book. Would I like to be an investor in this new restaurant? Why? Because now I not only read the book, How to Start a Barbecue Joint, I checked out another book called How to Start a Business for Dummies, the yellow and black one. In 1 year, I had 14 vending machines throughout San Diego County, major banks, Bank of America, credit unions, Wells Fargo. And I said, you know what, my man? I'm not interested. I think I'm going to go to the library instead. 6 months later, thank goodness that I didn't invest. I'm sorry to hear it, but the whole business wiped out. Both of them. He had one restaurant here and one over there. Both of them were gone.
Right.
So be careful how you talk to people.
That's right.
Who you don't share information with. You never know. You never know. With that being said, y'all, as always, man, shoot for the moon. If you don't make it, you're going to be amongst the stars. I can guarantee you. I don't care if they gatekeep it or not. Tell them somebody gonna leave the gate open, and you're gonna walk through it. Somebody gonna leave it open. So, and then it's gonna be somebody in the back say, "Who the hell left the gate open?" Because that food is Tell you got anything else?
I don't have anything else. Thank you all for watching. You know, the whole thing is don't be a crab in the barrel. Help others do their thing. It's enough out here for everybody, whatever it is. I just don't understand how people don't get excited about helping others and watching them soar. I get so happy when I see when people are really striving for something and they actually hit that mark. And let me tell you something, when I see people up there, I'm asking them, I want to be like, what you do? Because that is the reason why a lot of other folks get up, is because they don't have too much pride. They ask, instead of getting mad, they go, more props to you, bro. How you do that? And apply it. Apply the technique. You know, so other than that, that's fine. Thanks so much.
It's so many people saying good job and great job. And we thank all of y'all, man, from the bottom of our hearts for just showing up and supporting. Again, what are those models y'all mentioned? Tripping. Hey, right here, 1995 at the age of 26, was trying to own a barbecue spot. The library has a lot of answers. YouTube University and Google Community College. Be careful who you share info with. There's so much out there, man. Me and Shelton we talked about that a lot. Sorry about that, y'all. And the last thing here, man. Boy, I got stuff everywhere over here. Man, you got an Apple computer, Tony?
Not on the laptop. My work computer is.
Oh Lord, these things here, man. That's why I couldn't figure out how to share the other part of the screen, because I don't even know how to work my own computer. I had this computer I'd had this computer since you've been on YouTube. I do want to show y'all one thing. And I want to show you
Hi,
about
YOLO.
helping people. And I want to show you what Tanya, I actually got this from Tanya, y'all, because Tanya shared a lot of content. And she was just getting in the game, just meeting people and sharing. I said, man, she making all of us look bad. She over here sharing all this stuff out, man. I wish she would stop. And then I found myself wanting to be like her, and I found myself sharing a little more than I used to. Here we go, right here. All right, I'm gonna share this, and I want to show y'all something real quick. I'm gonna share this screen, and I want to show y'all how the thoughts of Rod, real quick. So y'all see this live and direct. Do you notice that Tanya pictures is before mine? Y'all probably don't even think. A lot of people don't think like this. I put her over here. It may look like I'm in the forefront, but I'm really not. You notice it says with T and Rod. I did that purposely. Not because she's the best or I'm the best, but because I don't care. I came up with the idea, but I don't care. Hell, every time we come here, there's more people on Tanya's channel. But you know what? I know I'm working with one of the best. And I told Tanya, this is just fun to me. I'm going to reap benefits regardless. And my benefits is having something to do. I told Tanya after the live or before the live last week, maybe during the live, I'm going to find a way to talk Tanya into doing this every Monday. It ain't going to happen because she's got a whole family over there. But that's my wish. So I'm trying to figure out how to unshare this mess. Wait. But that's it, y'all, man. We're going to get out of here. 15 Real Homies still in here. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Check out Event Yours, where she's talking about spirits. Check out TNT Connect, their second channel. Merch. They got trips. It's all kind of stuff in the comments. Make sure y'all check out her channel in the description and the bios. Check out the entire Points Blank Network, Points Blank Experience, where we are now. Points Blank Travel. We're teaching people how to travel for free. Not free. Little or no money out of your pocket.
He real quick said not free.
The reason I said not free because you may pay an annual fee. You may have to buy stuff, but it's not. So you're going to spend some kind of money. And investing with Rod, which is now my new baby, because that's the channel that I think is going to change not only the people I know, but I think I can become part of a group of people that can change an entire culture. And I don't mean a Black culture. I mean a generational culture, multicultural generation. That's why that channel is my baby right now. And we're going to get everybody to the party. With that being said, much love, y'all. Have a blessed and prosperous week. You got anything else, Tanya?
I'm good.
We out of here, y'all. I ain't doing no music, none of that. Peace, baby. We out of here.
See ya.
See y'all. Much love, y'all.